know it's almost time. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is October 10th, I believe. Yeah. Just dropped off to school. It is a work from home day for the rest of the week. So today and tomorrow is when I typically just take time to just I push my time back to start work so that way I can get like a few things done. So I'm en route to the gym. I'm gonna try to do some lifting today, but I'm not gonna do too much lifting, but I'm gonna try to do a little bit of lifting. I don't know, I'm just thinking to myself because the men dominates the weight section, so I kind of just wanted to do some squats, and I really needed to do some ab work too. I have not been doing, I've always been very weak at, that's probably why my stomach look the way it does, because sit-ups is something that I do not like to do, but I know that it's good for me, you know. Yeah, I know it's good for me, and I want to start incorporating some weight training too, but with having only kind of like 3 days to do it in a week, it's, you know, it's kind of hard. So anyway, back going to the gym. After that, I'm probably just gonna go to the gym. I need to stop at the supermarket because today I'm gonna make a one-pot meal. So I don't know, this is like an old Southern thing. So basically a one-pot meal is literally like a one-pot meal, like a meal that you make in one pot. So I'm gonna make chicken and rice. I actually was gonna make it yesterday, but I asked my aunt how to make her chicken and rice, or basically our family recipe, kind of, so to speak, a chicken and rice, and she told me that I'm missing, well, I know that I'm missing two ingredients, which is sofrito and cilantro, and I need to get like a can of like just canned corn, not cream canned corn, but just regular corn. So hopefully, if I don't remember or I don't get overwhelmed, I will show you guys how I make it. This is actually gonna be my first time making chicken and rice. I think, because I don't know if I told y'all, but I don't really care for rice that much, and as being like a Geechee and being like half Haitian, that sounds kind of weird, but I do not really care for rice. The times when I feel like I want it, I'll make it, but I'm really not a rice fan. I know that sounds weird, but I'm one of those Geechees, one of those half Haitians that do not care for rice at all. I just don't care for it. I don't know if it's because when I was a child, my mother used to make it so much, but you won't see me making rice like that. But I do like risotto, aka rice-a-roni. Like, basically my rice has to have some type of moisture to it. Even when I do eat rice, like, I always make it with like some type of like gravy. Like, I do not like dry rice, like, no. So yeah, y'all, that's what I'm gonna do. It is super duper chilly today. It's like 52 degrees. This weather in New York is insane. It was literally like 80 degrees the other day. I made sure that I put Ja on another coat, another jacket that has some fleece inside and thing, and I was just hoping and praying that it fit, because you know it was a jacket from last year. I only got him one jacket this year so far, so I hope that we could just deal with that and that. Yeah, y'all. So we at the gym. I'm gonna try to film myself a little bit if I can. If not, you know, it's just not gonna be not, you know, that's it. But yeah, I'm gonna try to film myself. If not, then I will see y'all probably when I get to the supermarket. Peace.
Look like I'm the man, yeah. But I was done up like last week. Tell me, where have you been? Yeah, came out of hiding, girl.
All right, y'all, let's make us some chicken and rice. So the first thing you're gonna do is put your chicken in a bowl, put some black pepper and garlic. I added some salt, and then I cut up my green peppers. You can cut up your green peppers however you wish. I personally like to have a little bit of bite whenever I'm putting like green peppers and certain things. But of course, you can do whatever you like. The cilantro, I'm just gonna cut that up and just, I actually didn't realize I didn't need to use like all of that cilantro. So I use like half of that I cut up and put the rest in a plastic container. And then cut up the onion. Same thing with the green peppers. You cut it up however big you want to put them, do your thing. I sliced up some already peeled garlic that I buy from the store. I just find it to be a lot easier to deal with. Put that all in a bowl, and then I'm going to add some sofrito. The sofrito is really for taste, so you add as much of it as you want. It's basically the same ingredients I just chopped up, excluding the tomato sauce. So I just was really honestly just eyeing it, seeing how much it was, and just, like I said, by eye. I like to use gloves whenever I'm mixing something with my hands. Something that I've been doing as of lately, just because I wear nails and I find that the seasoning always get caught up in my nails. So I like to use gloves just to, alleviate the seasoning. Sometimes it seems like when I wash my hands, like the seasoning still be like in between my nails. So that's basically what I'm doing right here, just seasoning it up, making sure that seasoning is all over the chicken. I use chicken wings, but you don't have to. You can use whatever pieces of chicken you like, if you want to cook legs or thighs or whatever you want. I just like, when it comes to my soups and my stews and all of that stuff, I like to use chicken wings. Next, you're going to add it in the pot, and once you put it in the pot, you can, start adding. What I use is the same bowl I mixed it in. I just, because it's still seasoning in the bowl, so I just add water to that same bowl to get all those seasonings out, and then I put it inside of the pot. What you want is the water to be just above the chicken, so, again, it doesn't have to be filled to the rim. You just want to get it a little bit above the chicken. The water is remember, the chicken is going to make its own juices. So you don't want to put too much water. It's not soup, it's the chicken and rice pot. And also you want to make sure that you add enough to cook your rice. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I decided to make, this is not common, this is not something like my parents and my aunts, and not my parents but my mom and stuff do when they make this, but I love squash. I love yellow and green squash together. This is like a meal that my mom used to make a lot, that I love that she makes. It's the most simplest like recipe, but it's so good. So you just cut the ends off your squash, and you just cut it however way you like. You can cut it in squares, you can cut it in, I just like a bite to my food, especially like vegetables. I just like to have, I think you get fuller that way too, like to just, cut up your vegetables kind of chunky. And I just love squash, y'all. I would make it a lot more, but squash is expensive. And yeah, if I catch it on sale, I'll get it, or if I just want it so bad, I'll just go ahead and buy it and make it, and I literally just steam it. So that is it with the squash. So basically with the squash, you put it in a pot, and you just put maybe, well, I season mine with a little bit of black pepper. This sounds strange too. But yeah, I put a little bit of black pepper. All of that is basically gonna come off the squash anyway. But I put black pepper. I also add a little bit of sugar, and I add some butter. So again, that sounds strange, and you have to just be careful. You don't want your squash like sweet sweet, but this goes together so well. Like, trust me guys, trust me. If you want me to do like a dedicated video on doing the squash, then I can do that. And what I do is just put a little bit of water at the bottom, just enough to basically, all I really want to do with this squash is steam it. I do have a vegetable steamer that goes into the pot, but I really don't like to, I don't know, for some reason it depends on the vegetable. I like that the seasoning and stuff. Like, I just think with the steamer, like, you just don't get a chance to like really get those flavors that I put in it. So I'm just checking on the chicken. It's just boiling. So with the chicken, once the chicken starts to boil, so basically you need to basically like cook your chicken, right? Before you put the rice. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just like cooking my chicken, stirring it, tasting the gravy just to see like how it's tasting. And then once the chicken is cooked, then you're gonna add your rice. You can use whatever kind of rice you want. This time I use jasmine rice. You don't have to use jasmine rice. You can use, I think my aunt says she uses Uncle Ben's rice, but you can use whatever rice you want. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Next, you're going to add in some corn. I just think I use just regular sweet corn. I like to use Libby's. I'm sorry I didn't tell you the kind of sofrito I use, but I use Goya. I like Libby's canned vegetables mostly. Those are the canned vegetables that I know my mom and definitely use Libby's, but it doesn't have to be. It could be store-bought canned sweet corn. Just don't use that cream corn though. The cream corn don't go with this. So now I'm adding my rice. I washed it until the water ran clear, and then you just mix it. Oh, and another thing, I'm sorry that I forgot to film. I thought I did film it, but you're going to also add olives. You're going to buy the Goya olives with the pimento peppers in it, and you're going to add that in too. You will be adding that the same time you're adding all the other things like the corn and like, just how I added the corn and stuff. So you can add the olives in there. Trust me, y'all. Like, that makes the meal, all right? It's funny because I was talking to my aunt and I was trying to substitute some of this stuff, and she was like, no, if you wanted to taste the way we made it for you guys, you have to make it this way. So I'm like, all right. So I had to end up going to the store and get olives, because I used to eat a lot of olives, but because they're so high in sodium, I don't eat them as much. So once you get your rice in there, all you're going to do is just stir it. Make sure that you stir it really, really well. Get to the bottom of that pot. And just make sure that everything is nice and, mixed up. The squash, I do not like to overcook my squash. I don't like my squash falling apart and all that stuff. So you see, I'm just literally just stirring it around, making sure that, whatever was at the bottom comes to the top so it can just steam evenly. Eventually, the squash does like make its own water. So what you're going to do is like pour that water off right before you finish cooking it. Because like I said before, I like my squash to have a little bite. I'll pour the water off and let the pot just finish steaming the rest of the squash. And this is the final this is the finale of the rice. It's literally a one pot meal, y'all. This came out amazing. It came out so good. I know it don't look like much now, but when I tell you this is fire, this is fire. If you want to cook like your kids and your man like a nice like hearty meal, then this is the recipe to make, because it's very, very good. It came out excellent. The olives, oh my god, it's amazing. And you don't need to put like a lot of salt and stuff in it. I would say just season up the chicken and with salt, and then remember, because you're using the sofrito, I actually forgot to add a packet of the sazon, and the sazon makes it like a little bit more like yellow. But sazon is really honestly for its sodium, and you can just use it for like color, really. So if you use that sazon, please be light on that salt. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you try the recipe. It is like, as soon as I haven't had this meal probably in a couple of years, a long time actually. It's probably been a good 5 years or more. Because I wouldn't never attempt to make it. So now that I know how to make it, now I can start making like this kind of stuff for Ja and me on those days when I don't feel like using multiple pots. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.